Okay, let's do this. My computer's lagged a little bit there, so if you're hopefully it wasn't like a dark screen for a little bit there, but it kind of lagged a little bit at that intro video. But I just wanted to hop on here really quick once again. Not really like a scheduled live. I didn't go live last Tuesday, but I think I went live like a few days ago, and I kind of went over this whole setup here that this live stream. So you just saw that it switched cameras here, so that's pretty cool. So I've been able to figure that out. Then also I can share the sheet music, like the drum notations, which I'm going to basically be going over today to help you with drum fills. So if you're struggling with drum fills, Groove Scribe is a tool that I talk about a lot here on the channel. It's a tool that I've used for several years, not only in making my own drum exercises and notations, whether it be fills or beats, but also just to come up with really creative drum parts. And it's awesome to have a tool such as this, any notation tool really, where you can go in there and just put random, hits together, and then you know obviously pick how you want that, whether you want it to be like a mixed subdivision thing, which we've talked about here. Like say for instance, 16th notes to triplets, or vice versa, triplets to 16th notes, mixing those subdivisions up, and then from there, like really, where can we use different rudiments? Where can we like take away notes and change the sticking, or do linear drumming, which is I'm doing a series right now on YouTube with just shorts, really just YouTube shorts, where it's like we started off with linear drum fills, and then we're gonna mix it up, because the ones that are coming in the next few days here are like linear, but then they have a mix of non-linear drumming, and all that means is linear is when no two limbs are, and then once you start hitting like the crash and the kick drum at the same time, that's non-linear at that point. So these fills are really awesome, and so I think in each one of these fills I tie back to that linear lesson I did. But really cool fills that we'll be going over, and they started off easy, and they kind of get harder and more complex, because I just want to help everybody, whether you just started drumming a few months ago, or you've been drumming for a few years and you're just trying to take it to the next level. So with that, I'm going to share this screen here. Actually, let me stop the camera switching here really fast. And we'll go to this thing here. What's cool about it is I figured it out, and so it's easier for me now. And so I'm going to switch the scene here, and I think I'm going to change where the screen is for this video. I noticed that the shorts I've been putting up, they'll switch between the different scenes, and it makes it difficult because the location of the notation changes too. So now they're both at the bottom of the screen there. So that's cool. So I'm just going to go ahead right here on this laptop, and the screen capture, I'm going to go ahead and restart that, because I found out that it will stop running, and you won't be able to see the notation running on the screen. And so with that, I'm going to go ahead here, and I'm going to come up with a fill right here on the fly. So hopefully you can see this screen share here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to clear this, and I want to talk about full measure fills today. And I've been doing this whole series on half measure fills, and there's just different ways that we can look at fills, depending on where we're at, in purpose for the song. So if you're doing like a big ending, and maybe it's like a 2-measure fill, or you're going from the end of the chorus back to the verse, and the next verse or whatever, you may do half measure fill or full measure, whatever it is. And so today, you can ignore this day 7 on the screen. That is the fill thing that I'm doing. So I'm just going to go ahead and this whole first measure here, hopefully you can see that on the screen. And right now I don't have the camera switching, so lots of stuff on my desktop. Right here in this this first measure, we're just going to leave all the rests there. And then we're going to come to the second measure, and I just want to show you how cool this tool is. You have this ability for, to add toms in there. And what I like about this is for the snare drum, I can go in here and just right click that, and all of a sudden I can put any sort of snare hit in here, whether it's just normal, it's an accented, it's a ghost note, cross sticking, buzz stroke, flam, whatever it is. And so it's really neat. And then obviously we have the toms. If we go up here to the hi-hats, we have hi-hat normal, open hi-hat, accent. Actually, it's just all cymbals in general. If you just right click where the hi-hat X is, like all this stuff. Crash, ride bell, cowbell, stacker cymbals, click accent. And so I'm just going to come up with a full measure fill here with some ghost notes, and it's just a really cool way. I'll do it just in Groove Scribe, and then I'll play the thing, or I'll do it vice versa, where I'm like playing something really cool, and I'm like, I want to notate that in Groove Scribe, so then I'll end up doing that. So let's just do a fill here. I'm going to stop talking. So we'll do ghost notes. We'll start the second bar off with the tom, the rack tom. Do a couple more ghost notes. We'll do there, ghost note. Sorry, so this is what's really cool about this Groove Scribe tool is, like, I'm going through right now and I'm putting all these notes in here as the accent and snare, some ghost notes, some tom hits, and I start going, okay, what else could I do here? And that's where, when you start really diving into this tool, you can come up with some really cool stuff in terms of just beats, fills, whatever, solos. So I'm right here figuring out how I want this third bar. We'll do a couple more ghost notes. So I think what I'm going to do here is restart this screen capture. See, I have to click restart capture again because I don't know if it was sharing that just now. And so what I'm going to do is, I think I'm going to turn the volume up on that screen capture because I feel like it's a little bit low. So we're going to turn this up just a little bit. Hopefully it's not too loud. So this is going to count out the first bar, the first measure, and then it's going to play this fill that I'm going to play on the drums here. And so I leave the first measure out just because I'm going to be playing some random beat there. So that fill is a really cool, it's just one of those fills where you're able to layer that drum fill with just a little bit more. You could just do a fill that sounds something like that without that ghost notes. I guess there's a tom in there. And that sounds cool too, and it's still using that linear drumming, but with those ghost notes, I've done a few videos going over ghost notes. It just makes it... Dang, hopefully that's not too loud because I feel like this mic picks it up, so I have to mute this mic really quick to play this fill. So that is where I'll start to be like, okay, how can I incorporate that? How can I integrate that? So with that fill, my battery's dying fast on this laptop. With this fill, it's just really cool. Really awesome way to be able to, or with this tool, it's just a really awesome way to be able to come up with fills. And so this fill is really one that I just wanted to talk about, and I wanted to go over this screen share because that is something too that I think is really cool with these live, with being able to live stream here. So this fill, and so from that, we could change where we want that, and I could do that here in the notation, or I could just start drumming it first. Maybe I want to do the floor tom instead of the rack tom on that second bar. Or maybe I just want to do all floor tom. Or all rack tom. Or wherever, you can move that to the ride bell. Hi-hat raise. Or all that is doing linear drumming. Maybe I want that last hit of that fill to be non-linear and do a ride bell and a hi-hat raise. And so that would just be an example of linear and non-linear, and you're just mixing. And at that point, it's just probably just regular drumming. I don't know if I'm just getting too carried away with those terms, but this Groove Scribe tool is super, super cool to be able to help you come up with some drum parts. And so, let's see, make sure this thing, cool. So, I just wanted to show you this full measure fill actually. So I will go over more of these drum fills. And we could even move some of this stuff around if we wanted to change where the snare accent is, and maybe want to put a kick drum there. So that's cool. This fill actually sounds a little bit like a beat. So that's a really fun fill there too, and we're using those ghost notes once again there, those double ghost notes. We're just starting the fill off with a kick drum instead of an accented snare. See if this is still sharing. My battery's getting really low. I feel like it wasn't sharing. Anyways, if it was, that's sick. But with that being said, if this has been helpful for you, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, so that way you're notified every single time that a video is uploaded, and it will really help me out also in just telling the YouTube algorithm, hey, push the stuff out that I put out. You know, it's really helpful for drummers out there more to more people. So it would be really helpful. And also, if you want to take your drumming further, I got a ton of drumming stuff here on YouTube for free. Also, in the description below, some links to my drum courses, whether it's to get faster behind the drums, maybe you want to get your weaker hand faster, you want more motivation and dedication, determination, discipline with your practicing, or, you know, you want to take a lesson with me even, all of those links are in the description below. So definitely check those out. But until next time,